This is the Crimson Recap on the SVI Sports Network. Focus on Star Valley High School sports, scores, and highlights from the previous week. The Crimson Recap is presented by First Bank of Wyoming, your home for totally free checking, with local branches in Afton and Alpine, and online at gofirstbank.com. And now, here's your host of the Crimson Recap, Jake Hibbard.
And welcome in. The winter season all done with. Finally, we wrapped that up at state basketball over the weekend in Casper. We'll let you know how the Star Valley girls and boys both did in their final weekend of basketball. And we've got some news on the latest Shrine Bowl selections out of Star Valley, as well as all conference basketball selections for the girls and boys as well. We'll also get you ready for what's to come in Star Valley for this week as we shift from the winter to the spring season already. But let's start out, as I said, in Casper as we run you through some of the highlights. After taking second place at the regional tournament, Star Valley's girls took on Cheyenne East, the third seed out of the eastern side of Wyoming, on day one of the tournament. This was at Casper College, where a power outage actually delayed the games throughout the day, and offense for Star Valley a little slow out of the gates as they took on an extremely tough defense of East, averaging over 21 turnovers per game. And East prevailed 50-28 on day one. Other winners on day one out of 4A, Sheridan took down Rock Springs 59-44. Cody beat Laramie by 21 points, 53-32. And Campbell County got past Kelly Walsh 52-39. That set up on Friday a loser-out matchup for Star Valley and Kelly Walsh. And that game played at the Casper Event Center, pretty close throughout. Ultimately, though, Kelly Walsh would prevail 39-31, and Star Valley's girls were eliminated on day two of the state tournament. The other consolation game had Laramie barely squeaking by Rock Springs in a 9 a.m. game, 27-26 the final in that game. And in the semifinals, Sheridan beat Cody in a surprise game, 39-34, and Campbell County 49-44 over Cheyenne East to set up the state title game, in which Sheridan prevailed as the top team in 4A for girls, 65-56. That's the Bronx 7th school state title and the first since 2007. Jumping over to the boys' side, Star Valley they also had Cheyenne East on Thursday at Casper College in the quarterfinal round of the state tournament. 45-43, the number 2 seed Star Valley defeated number 3 East just narrowly. Cooper Lancaster had 15 points for the Star Valley Braves, and Simon Gaskell added a double-double, 11 points and 10 rebounds. Other teams winning on day one at state, it was Laramie getting past Evanston 57-38, Cheyenne Central big over Riverton 73-48, and Natrona County edged out Jackson 61-56. That means Star Valley was again the only team out of the West to advance to day two of the state tournament, still in the hunt for a crown. Now on day two, the semifinals set up Laramie versus Star Valley and Cheyenne Central versus Natrona County. In the Laramie-Star Valley game, it was a second straight title appearance for the Plainsmen as they knocked off Star Valley 55-49. On the Central side, it was a win over Natrona County 67-55, setting up Central versus Laramie in the day 3 title match. Central would go on to win by a 3-point margin, 62-59 over Laramie. And as for Star Valley in the third place game, as they took on Natrona County, they could not quite overcome 4 Mustangs going into double figures as Natrona County prevailed 75-66. In the consolation championship, Cheyenne East defeated Jackson 65-54. And with that, the 2024 basketball season came to an end, and we'll move on into the spring season. But not before we give out a few postseason awards, and that starts with All Conference. The Star Valley girls picked up a pair of all-conference athletes in Kenley Engelhart and Emily Dana. Engelhart led the team in points, assists, and steals per game throughout the year, and Emily Dana averaged 8.7 points per game and a team-high 7.2 rebounds. For the Star Valley boys, 2 selections as well. Max Jensen with his 13.4 point per game and 47% three-point shooting clip on the season was named first team all-conference. as was Cooper Lancaster. Lancaster averaged 11.1 points, 6 rebounds, and 1.4 steals per game. The Star Valley Braves also picked up a 4A West Coach of the Year, with Matt Shumway, their head man, getting the nod. Of course, we still have all-state selections for basketball yet to be released. We'll pass that information along when we get it. However, coming in today, we did find out which Star Valley Braves will be competing in this summer's Shrine Bowl. Star Valley in all had 4 Shrine Bowlers selected: Jaden Crook, Simon Gaskell, Jesse Levitt, and Clay Merritt. Levitt finished with over 1,200 yards rushing and 16 touchdowns. Jaden Crook and Clay Merritt both went over 100 tackles on the year, and Simon Gaskell had 129 tackles on the season to lead Star Valley. And now let's take a look at what's coming up this week in Star Valley. Coming up on Thursday, March 14th, it's the first day of the school musical at the auditorium. Will be at 7 p.m. Make sure to check that out. Friday, we kick off the spring sports season with boys and girls soccer playing at Rock Springs, and outdoor track and field begins its season at Lone Peak, Utah. And then Saturday, March 16th, the boys and girls soccer programs will continue at Rock Springs. Outdoor track and field continues at Lone Peak. And the final day of the school musical is upon us, 1 o'clock with a matinee at the school auditorium, and 7 p.m. with the final showing. Well, that's it for me, and that's it for the winter sports season. Appreciate you joining me all year long, and hey, go check out that musical this weekend while you got time between the start of the spring outdoor season. Won't be long. We'll go right back into more athletics. Until then, I'm Jake Hibbard. Thank you.